Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll explore the incredible story of John D. Rockefeller, a man who went from poverty to becoming the world's first billionaire. His journey is as inspiring as it is controversial. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more amazing stories like this one. Let's get started. The early years, a humble beginning. Rockefeller's rise to power and wealth is a story that feels almost unreal. Born in 1839 to a poor family in upstate New York, young John had no idea what lay ahead for him. His father, Devil Bill, was a notorious con artist who was rarely home. John, alongside his siblings, was often left to fend for themselves. His mother was the glue of the family, instilling discipline and a strong work ethic into him from an early age. Even as a boy, Rockefeller showed an entrepreneurial spirit. He started small, raising turkeys to sell and even lending money to neighbors at a modest interest. These experiences set the foundation for what would become one of the most remarkable business careers in history. The breakthrough, finding his path. After leaving school at just 16, Rockefeller faced rejection after rejection while trying to find a job. But he didn't give up. After weeks of relentless searching, he finally landed a position as a bookkeeper for a small firm in Cleveland. That humble job would change the course of his life forever. From that moment on, Rockefeller was laser-focused on becoming rich. He even started celebrating Job Day, the anniversary of his first job, more than his own birthday. The skills he developed here, managing finances, negotiating deals, would be key to his future success. The oil boom, the birth of Standard Oil in 1859, a discovery in Pennsylvania changed everything. Crude oil. The oil boom was on, and Rockefeller saw an opportunity. After saving up some money, he partnered with a chemist named Samuel Andrews and ventured into the oil refining business. Refining, not drilling, was where Rockefeller saw the real money. Together with his business partner, Morris Clark, they set up their first refinery in Cleveland. It wasn't long before Rockefeller realized the oil business could become massive, so he bought out Clark's share in 1865, taking full control of the business that would eventually become Standard Oil. The ruthless tactics, monopoly, and control. One of the reasons Rockefeller became the world's first billionaire was his ability to control the market. Through strategic partnerships with railroads, he negotiated secret deals that crushed his competitors. He pioneered a system called rebates, which allowed Standard Oil to transport its oil at a much lower rate than its competitors. This move forced many smaller companies out of business. Rockefeller didn't stop there. He began buying out competitors left and right. And soon, Standard Oil controlled over 90% of the oil refining industry in the United States. This monopoly allowed him to set prices, dictate terms, and amass an enormous fortune. Public backlash. The rise of enemies. As you can imagine, Rockefeller's tactics didn't make him many friends. Competitors accused him of unethical practices, and his influence in government circles only made things worse. He had powerful enemies, including steel magnate Andrew Carnegie, and even U.S. presidents like Theodore Roosevelt. Rockefeller's ruthlessness extended beyond business competitors. He was infamous for driving down prices to bankrupt rivals, only to raise them again once they were out of the picture. This led to the term predatory pricing, a tactic still debated in business ethics to this day. The breakup. Standard Oil's downfall. By the early 1900s, the U.S. government couldn't ignore Standard Oil's monopoly any longer. In 1911, after years of legal battles, the Supreme Court ordered the breakup of Standard Oil into 34 separate companies under the Sherman Antitrust Act. But here's the twist. The breakup actually made Rockefeller even richer. The value of these new companies skyrocketed, and Rockefeller owned stock in each one. Companies like ExxonMobil, Chevron, and BP can all trace their roots back to Standard Oil. Philanthropy, a second legacy. Despite his ruthless business reputation, Rockefeller had another side. He was deeply religious and believed in giving back. Over his lifetime, he donated more than $500 million to various causes, including education, medical research, and public health initiatives. He founded the University of Chicago, helped eradicate diseases like hookworm and yellow fever, and set up the Rockefeller Foundation, which continues to support philanthropic efforts worldwide to this day. His legacy in philanthropy is as significant as his business empire. Controversial legacy, hero or villain? So, how do we judge John D. Rockefeller? Was he a ruthless businessman who crushed competitors without mercy? Or was he a visionary philanthropist who believed in improving society? The truth is, he was both. Rockefeller's life shows the duality of power, how it can be used to both build and destroy. In the end, Rockefeller lived to the ripe old age of 97, passing away in 1937. His wealth, adjusted for inflation, would make him one of the richest people to have ever lived, even by today's standards. The way forward. Lessons from Rockefeller. So, what can we learn from the life of John D. Rockefeller? While some of his tactics were undoubtedly questionable, his work ethic, discipline, and vision are qualities we can all admire. Whether you're an entrepreneur or just someone looking to make an impact in your field, Rockefeller's story shows that success requires both persistence and strategy. And if you want more incredible stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Rockefeller's journey from poverty to billionaire status is just one example of how far ambition can take you. But there's so much more to discover. Stick with us, and we'll bring you more stories of extraordinary people who changed the world. FAQ. How did Rockefeller become the world's first billionaire? Rockefeller became the world's first billionaire through his company, Standard Oil, which controlled over 90% of the oil refining industry in the US. His ability to create a near monopoly allowed him to amass an enormous fortune. What is Standard Oil? Standard Oil was the company Rockefeller founded in 1870. It became the largest oil refinery business in the world and was eventually broken up by the US government in 1911 for violating antitrust laws. Was Rockefeller a philanthropist? Yes, despite his ruthless business practices, Rockefeller donated over $500 million to various charitable causes, including education, healthcare, and scientific research. What is Rockefeller's legacy today? His legacy is twofold. He is remembered as both a pioneering businessman and one of the most generous philanthropists in history. His family foundation continues to support various global causes. Who were Rockefeller's rivals? Rockefeller had many rivals, but his most notable was Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate. They competed to be the wealthiest and most influential men in America during their time. What happened to Standard Oil after it was broken up? Standard Oil was divided into 34 smaller companies, some of which became today's oil giants, including ExxonMobil, Chevron, and BP. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this story, you'll definitely want to check out our video on Andrew Carnegie, another titan of industry with an incredible story. See you there.